And, you know, that's the end of the road when the cops come to arrest you for your speech. I mean, they are lawless, Nazis, Soviets, whatever you want to call them, crooks, done. They've confessed they are, the whole system a fraud. Russia turns up the nuclear rhetoric. That's Financial Times. We told you about this weeks ago, but the mainstream media is having to report that Putin and Medvedev are threatening to nuke Western Europe if they keep rolling missile systems in and circling Russia. Finally, the dinosaur media thought they'd report on that for you. And the bankers make 40-to-1 bets, and they got bunkers. It might be fun for them to get a nuclear war going. See, you don't get how dangerous these globalists are. Their little minions just want to molest your children at the airport, and they let known sexual abusers be the commanders. And you love it. It's in fact, the new flag of America, our new mainline listeners love it. Should be, I guess, a TSA agent hurting a child. I mean, because that's what we are. I mean, why not be proud of it? We can all hang them out made in China and cry and go to parades. Like maybe have a national sporting event where the TSA, abuses men, women, children, and we all cheer them and say, oh, we're so proud of what you do to our children. Thank you for keeping us safe. Operators admit Fukushima radiation levels 2.5 times what they publicly announced. That's Infowars.com with links to the official Tokyo Electric. So there you have it. And, of course, the environmentalists say arrest those of us that criticize man-made global warming or fighting other programs. So this is just part of their authoritarian move. While the real environment is in deep trouble and the genetic code of the planet's being rewritten by a bunch of transhumanists who just say, oh, it's evolution, we'll do whatever we want, humankind's over, we're going to merge with machines and live forever. Really, the original eugenicists in the 1850s, for 5 generations, interbred 5 families. The scientific elite under British government funding, the Wedgwoods, the Huxleys, the Darwins, the Galtons, there's one other. And they had over 90% of their children born totally mentally retarded, deformed, or stillborn. And the 10% that did survive or less were highly intelligent but had absolute congenital medical problems and deformities. And then they all became the leaders of the eugenics movement, founding UNESCO, UN, everything, running around, slaughtering everyone worldwide, and writing books and getting Nobel Prizes for it. And go read their books. It's all how they'd set this up and poison the food and water and kill us and do it so slowly we couldn't resist and everything. And I'm just supposed to be all for it or I'm not trendy. Oh, I got stacks for other news, but let's just go ahead and take a few phone calls here. Let's go ahead and talk to Nick in New Jersey. Nick, you're on the air. Welcome.
Hey, Alex, how you doing on this wonderful tyranny-filled afternoon?
Well, I mean, we need to give $1.1 million fines and arrest people that say the carbon tax increases prices, which they admit it does. I mean, you don't have free speech in Australia.
Oh, no, and, we got our Americans getting zuckered all over the place.
Oh, we told you it wasn't worth $100 billion, wasn't worth $10 billion. We told you it was already on the way out, already declining. A lot of analysts had said that. We told you you'd be ripped off by him. We're conspiracy theorists. Now they totally ripped everybody off. Turns out he insider traded, but that's fine with all them. He's allowed to. He's like MF Global head, John Corzine.
I just can't believe how everybody gets suckered in by that. Facebook is such the coolest thing on the planet.
Oh, they like it. It's cool to take your children up to the TSA so they can gang rape them.
That's what I was calling about, actually. I have a question, maybe search a little bit of advice for me and all your listeners. Now that these TSA agents will be harassing us on the streets and at our bus stops and whatnot, I have a question. I'm wondering if, since they are not sworn and bonded officers, do we have the right as Americans to refuse them to show them ID or let us search our bags?
Yes, but they have force de jure or force. Is it force de jure or force? I always get my French mixed up, but it means the overpowering force. Bank robbers that come in with machine guns and say, get on the ground or I'm going to splatter your brains, they are illegally doing something. But they're in control by the overpowering force or force.
Because they have the gun.
Force de jure. That's what tyranny is. And so the feds were able to get the beachhead of, just some people that aren't really cops are going to violate your Fourth Amendment, but just at the airport. Yeah, that's for your safety. Next, we're going to take your shoes off, take your belt off. Next, we're going to yell at you. Now we're going to body scan you and touch you. Now we're going to touch you and body scan. Now we're going to put you in a closed room and strip search you. Now we're going to scream at you. Now we're going to do a chest x-ray. Now we're going to be on street corners. Now we're going to be at your house. Now we're going to be everywhere. Now we're going to be at your school prom. Now we're going to be. So it's totally illegal on the books. I've had prosecutors, state reps, congressmen on. It's illegal. But they've got cops that when the congressman says, you're hurting my genitals, they go, officer. The officer comes over and says, you'll be ejected right now and fined if you don't let him. And the congressman goes, all right. And it's the state's exercise of power. And they're like, that's right. And now we're going to hire pedophiles. There's nothing you're going to do about it. And if you speak out against the carbon taxes, you go into jail. How's that sound? That sound like freedom?
Oh, that sounds awesome. The cops and TSA agents are high-fiving each other, going to go have a soda around the corner after they harass us and play with my genitals a little bit, right?
Yes, sir, and it's force majeure. I always get it. Well, what's force de jure, then? I know there's two different laws. It's like nom de plume is a pen name. Nom de guerre is your war name. Like they'd call a famous football player, the Crusher or something like that. There it is, force majeure, superior overpowering force, an unexpected or uncomfortable event. Anything else, sir?
No, I just want to thank you for your time, and I appreciate everything you're doing out there. Long-time listener, and keep it going.
Well, I appreciate you. That guy was an extremist. He doesn't like people operating as police officers who aren't sworn and bonded under the Constitution, and he doesn't like them doing things that are legal for police to do and the feds out of their jurisdiction. I mean, he's a bad man. We're back live here. Students will be tracked via ID chips in their IDs in Texas. That's mysanantonio.com. That's the San Antonio Express News, radio, frequency identification systems. People used to like to have to wear tags around their necks. Now you're going to wear chips. That's already in your driver's license. It's in everything. It's just total control. And the drones track it, and you're the enemy, and Homeland Security says they're going to turn it off. You're not going to buy, sell, trade, or have a job. If they say they're announcing with outlaws, they're going to ban the Second Amendment for whoever they feel like. They're just lawless crooks. And believe me, they're putting this in because they're getting ready to totally turn the economy off by design. See, all you people that love tyranny, I hope you love poverty. And so many of you that love this system, you're going to get chewed up by it big time. I can't tell you how many articles I see where cops kill police officers' children in cold blood, beat them to death, shoot them, whatever. It's just all going to come back on you. The bureaucrats, all of you. Everything you want, you're going to get. Unless we repent and turn back to God. And this is not even a religious show. I'm a Christian. My point is, that's the solution, is really getting ourselves together. I know I've got problems. I know I'm not perfect. I know I do bad things. But my heart is good. I want to be right. I want to change things. I want to turn things around. We've got to reach everybody. That's why I've set up planetinfowars.com, a social network for liberty, to get people together, to become the ultimate activist network. It's there. It's working well. We're adding more features. Give us your feedback, planetinfowars.com. Take action, planetinfowars.com. Lee in Florida, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Thank you for taking my call, Alex. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
I am a 70-year-old lady that I live right across the bridge from Tampa, Florida. And it is disgusting to see how they reacted with this so-called bogus training yesterday.
Oh, yeah, it was like a bunch of boats, helicopters, explosions, checkpoints, just a total invasion, parachutes coming in. Tell us what you saw.
It was absolutely ridiculous. I live across the bridge, and I didn't go because I knew what it was. I come from a long line of military people that every one of my male relatives have served in military service, Army, Navy, Marines, and Air Force. And trust me, they are all deceased now. My son was murdered 2 years ago, and it's absolutely heartbreaking to see the country they fought for turning the way it has. But it is, like they said, I've been doing my part. I've been quite ill. I won't go into the details, but I'm on my last leg, but I still get out, and the only place I go is the doctor, the pharmacy, the grocery store. That's it. But I've gone all over my neighborhood and passed out. I make up a little list of about 6 websites. You're on top. And, of course, people you've had on there that you've given their websites. And then I put that with a printout of the Army manual, where it says that, I highlight where it says they pick us up with our Social Security number, and then I print out the enemies list.
Stay there, ma'am. This is very, very touching. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. Thank you for joining us on this 25th day of May 2012. We were just talking to a lady in Florida, Lee. She says she's on her last leg, old and ill, but she's out there handing out Infowars.com little printouts and handing out the official admitted Army document about rounding up Americans' political dissidents according to their Social Security numbers. They're announcing they're going to give you $1.1 million fines or arrest you if you criticize the carbon taxes in Australia. It's happening everywhere. This is tyranny. They're saying if you don't agree with Al Gore, you should be arrested here in the U.S. This is here. These people mean business. They're criminal, and they're not going to stop. And they have the police and military working for them. And we've got to reach out to the police and military. A lot of them are waking up. Ma'am, finish your story.
Yes, I have a very good friend that's 82 years old, and she lived through Germany when it was going on with Hitler. She knows what it's all about. She's 82, and she is putting out the same material I am. And I have to tell you, I'm finally having some results because my doctor and my heart doctor, my GP and my heart doctor, both, I took the information to them. They were not totally in the dark, but had no idea of the information you give out. And that I scored there because they are passing it out to everyone. My heart doctor is Cuban. His family had moved to Puerto Rico. He knows what it is, and so does Dr. Perez. And I'm finally, everyone in his office wanted the information.
Yeah, well, no, the Cubans you'll actually find are ready to wake up because they've already lived under it. They know what a Chavano on every corner is. They know what this is, but other people don't. I'm getting chills right now. I can't believe this country's going to literal Hades in a handbasket right in front of us.
I gave it to them, I scored, and also I give it out to everyone in the pharmacy and at the grocery store. I stand there when I get my groceries. I take them and pass them out there. So no matter how old you are or what your situation is. Are you kidding?
Sweet little ladies like you are the ultimate weapon.
Oh, yes, I've got a couple that's very good friends. One is 72 and lives in the
Well, you know who almost routed the communist threat with McCarthy until he found out the Army was running it and then they discredited him. It was ladies like yourself. So don't think, oh, I'm old, little old lady, I don't have any power. You got the power. People listen to you. You need to use it. And you're doing a great job thinking about others when other people would selfishly, if they had a really bad illness, only be thinking, but you know what? A lot of people fight on and actually get better health whenever they're fighting for others. God bless you, sweetheart. We really appreciate what you're doing.
And I've known about this for years. In the 70s, we had Med-Cal right here in the United States. And people just don't realize I have my own little garden in the backyard. It's not much. And I wanted to give you a piece of advice, take it or leave it. They have a new system out called NutriBullet. I got one. And it truly works. It mulches everything into liquid, and if you grow your own food, you can make your own drinks every day. And I'm ordering your
Wait a minute, I've seen those little bullet juicers and wanted to buy them. The infomercial, how the glass is the little thing and you make it.
Oh, I got mine 2 weeks ago, and I talked to my doctor.
I was on vacation, and me and my wife said we were going to get a NutriBullet. This is not a product placement, folks. They're not a sponsor. But I want me a NutriBullet. I'll sell like 5,000 of them right now. They should be a sponsor now. Yeah, I want a NutriBullet. I know people that have those. They say they work really well. God bless you, ma'am. I really appreciate you. That touches my heart. I wish the men out there would do what she's doing. I wish you'd get up out of the sports bar. You still go to the sports bar on Saturday or something, folks, but spend some of your time